Shalom, shalom, shalom. This is your girl, Araya Benjamin, and I am here with my good old teammate, Yehuda Returns.
Yehuda Returns, aka Matt T Yahoo Yahuda. You can send me emails at yahudareturns@gmail.com. Shalom Saints, Shalom Gentiles, heathens, and everybody else that's listening.
All right, so we just wanted to kind of get on here and just let the spirit flow. I want to go over the Apocrypha. And I have it up here on the screen. The Apocrypha that I'm using is the complete Apocrypha. A lot of folks think there was 400 silent years, which there were not. That is false. That is lies. Things were going on. It just these books were removed from the Bible. But guess what? They back. So I want to go over the book of Yashir. It's on page 402 on this book on the screen that you see here. I want to go over chapter 56. Just give you a little snippet how the Apocrypha is key and dire for you to get and read because it has extra information and more specific details than the canonical 66 books that we have in the Holy Bible, King James Version. And this will give you the extra information to fill up the gaps or fill up the holes that you may have as you're reading some of the books or like while you're trying to study the Bible and become more edified. All right, so just check this out. I'm gonna give you a little snippet.
Can I ask
Yes.
can I ask something real quick before you jump into that? I just wanted to I appreciate you bringing up that book because a lot of people say that the Apocrypha is not canonical or it shouldn't, they took it out because it wasn't the inspiration or anything like that. So I wonder if they turn to Joshua chapter 10 verse 13 and tell me if they still believe that when they read where it says, and the sun stood still. This is Joshua chapter 10 verse 13, King James Version. And the sun stood still, and the moon stayed until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. Is it not? Is not this written in the book of Jasher? So the sun stood still in the midst of heaven, and has not to go down about a whole day. Just wanted to point a scripture out. You can also find 2 Samuel 1:18, the book of Jasher being mentioned. Where else? I think it might have been mentioned two more other times. So the Bible mentions it. So it ain't like we just taking a book and saying, oh, it's just that and the other. But the Bible, the original, not the original 66, the 66 that a lot of people, more specifically Christians, try to adhere to, they're mentioned in that book. So I would like to see, if any of them listening or respond back, how would they respond to that? Because it's definitely mentioned in there, along with a few other books. But please, sister, go ahead.
Thank you for that. That was a good point that you brought up. Yeah, so let me show you my screen back and I will go over, like I said, the Apocrypha, the book of Yashir. We have the J, but we pronounce it as a Y sound. And I'm going to go over chapter 56. And like I said, I'm just going to give you a snippet just to give you an idea of how much more information and detail, intriguing the Apocrypha is. It's like the missing piece of the puzzle. It fills in that gap, if you will. Okay. All right. Chapter 56. And Jacob lived in the land of Mitzrayim, or Egypt, okay, 17 years. And the days of Jacob and the years of his life were 147 years. At that time, Jacob was attacked with all, Shalakia. At that time, Jacob was attacked with that illness of which he died, and he sent and called for his son Joseph or Yosef from Mitzrayim, and Joseph his son came from Mitzrayim, and Joseph came under his father. came unto his father Shalakia. And Jacob said unto Joseph and unto his sons, Behold, I die. I and I'm sorry, and the Elohim of your ancestors will visit you and bring you back to the land which the Most High sware to give unto you and unto your children after you. And see right here, this solidifies what's already in the Torah, how it mentions all the land that each tribe will inherit. And again, you see him telling his sons, who are, the tribes, the land they will inherit. It's like a precept. It's repeating what's already been prophesied. Okay? Now, pay attention. Here we go. Now, therefore, when I am dead, bury me in the cave which is in Machpelah in Hebron in the land of Canaan. Where is Canaan at? The continent of Africa. Near my ancestors. And his ancestors over there in the continent of Africa. See that? And Jacob made his son swear to bury him in Machpelah in Hebron, and his son swore unto him concerning this thing. And he commanded them, saying, Serve the Most High your Elohim, for he who delivered your fathers will also deliver you from all trouble. And Jacob said, Call all your children unto me. And all the children of Jacob's sons came and sat before him. And Jacob blessed them. And he said unto them, The Lord God of your fathers will grant you 1,000 times as much and bless you. And may he give you the blessing of your father Abraham. And all the children of Jacob's sons went out on that day after he had blessed them. And if I just pause right there, what is this showing you, folks? What's this telling you? You see how important a man is in his family, in his society, in his community? The culture of those times, the man will give the blessing for everyone in the family. Look at that. All the grandkids came to Jacob for him to give the blessing. His sons went to Jacob and he blessed his sons. We read that in Genesis 48 and 49. So you see how important a man role is. You see that the man is not equal to the woman. The woman is not equal to the man. The man is the head. He is the leader of the family. These are the facts, folks. Sorry to burst your bubble. It is what it is. All you can do is accept it and respect it. Okay? But look how powerful and important. And see, when you fall everything in line, everything you touch gonna be blessed. You will be blessed. You see that? So pay attention to that, of what our forefathers did. And that's how you need to lead your family, right? And women allow the men to lead in such respect. Okay? And be supporting. Learn to just be quiet, right? And let them do their thing. And you'll get blessed more and they're gonna love you more. Anything you want to chime in, Yehuda? Mr. Yehuda?
Yeah, I'm gonna say, I like what you're saying, and I'll just say to the ladies, uh, Paul say not to teach, right? But that's publicly speaking. We can get into that. So publicly speaking, the women ain't supposed to teach or whatever. But yeah, the man is the head of the household. Somebody has to be the manager or the supervisor or the director or something like that. We all cannot be managers. We can manage of oneself. The Bible also speaks to an order, a hierarchy of order, from lowest to top. It's the child, it's the woman, it's the man, it's the son, it's the Most High Yah. That's the order. Uh, if you don't deviate from that, the woman will should not. If the brother's doing it the right way, the woman should not feel uh less than, but she should also be honored as well. And there's scriptures that speak to that. So ladies, don't feel less than because the Most High made you the weaker vessel. He made you the weaker vessel for a reason, right? Your man has to go out into the world and be a man. He got to be a little tough guy, etc., etc., right? You don't want that smoke for real, for real. Let him do that. Be that woman, that queen that he comes to for comfort. He comes to for uh uh to have someone to be affectionate to, because he don't need to be affectionate out in the world. He needs to be a warrior out in the world. And that's the reason for part of the reasons for that. Of course, I can go on and on and on and on. But you just stay tuned and we'll keep it going. That's it, sister. Go ahead.
Exactly. I mean, I agree with you like 1,000%. Um, it's rough out there in the world. Like, let him deal with that, and let him protect you and be that provider. And you do your part, and together, y'all just be a powerful team, a powerful force. Like, don't let nothing come in between that. Don't let anything mess that up. You know what I'm saying? He bowed it, you be bowed it too. Like, let's go. Shoot. I got your back, boo. So yes, that's one of the points that I love the relationship that they're portraying right here and showing the man's strength and how powerful and respected the man should be, and how he was in the beginning times when they laid the foundation. So we need to get back to Bible, get back to those times, get back to the Hebrew. We need to treat our men better and show them respect, because they don't get a lot of love in this world. So when they come through that doors, let's let that happen. Let's get back to how it was scripturally, because this is the way of the Israelites. And you want part of the lost tribes, that's when we need to get back to. Because you know why? Jude 1:5 says, I will put them back into remembrance. It's coming. And we're gonna remember the way and the custom and the heritage that was stolen from us, that we once had. And we're gonna start thinking like Hebrew, speaking Hebrew, understanding Hebrew. That's the customs, that's the cultures. So let the man lead. Okay, so now let's see, I looked up a verse 6. I'm gonna go on verse 7. And on the next day, Jacob again called for his sons, and they all assembled and came to him and sat before him. And Jacob on that day blessed his sons before his death. See, told you he blessed his sons. That means that man's anointed. He's blessed, and he's blessing his children. See, you see how the man is right under the Messiah, and above the Messiah is the Most High. That man is holy. And Jacob on that day blessed his sons before his death. Each man did he bless according to his blessing. Behold, it is written in the book of the law of the Lord pertaining to Israel. See how they always naming all these hidden books that we can't find sometimes? And Jacob said unto Judah, I know, my son, that you are a mighty man, for your brethren reign over them, and your sons will reign over their sons forever. Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. This is a precept. Once again, solidifying Judah being the creme de la creme, the upper echelon. I'm sorry, they are the ruler. They are number one. That's the number one tribe. And it says it right here, forever. Once again, like it says in Genesis and several other places in the Bible. He is telling his son Judah, you are a mighty man, and you will be ruling over your brothers, and your sons will rule over their sons forever. You can't change it, folks. So just pay attention to what's being said over here in these books and everything. That's how it's gonna be. So if you happen to be tribe of Judah, don't worry, because one day you will take your rightful place and you will be leading. Judah teach Judah. No other tribe or entity can be teaching Judah. Judah's are the one that's supposed to be teaching, not these other tribes and stuff. That's not your lane. Judah's got Judah. Don't worry. Like, leave Judah alone. Let them be. Okay, and Jacob said, okay, I already read that part. Only teach your sons the bow and all the weapons of war. See, y'all gonna be the warriors, okay? In order that they may fight the battles of their brother who will rule over his enemies. And Jacob again commanded his sons on that day, saying, Behold, I will be this day gathered unto my people. Carry me up from Egypt or Mitzrayim, and bury me in the cave of Machpelah, as I have commanded you. Nevertheless, take heed, I pray you, that none of your sons carry me, only yourselves. And this is the manner you will do unto me when you carry my body to go with it to the land of Canaan to bury me. Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun will carry my bier at the eastern side. Reuben, Simeon, and Gad at the south. Ephraim, Manasseh, and Benjamin at the west. Dan, Asher, and Naphtali at the north. Let not Levi carry with you, for he and his sons will carry the ark of the covenant of the Lord with the Israelites in the camp. Neither let Joseph, my son, carry, for as a king, so let his glory be. Nevertheless, Ephraim and Manasseh will be in their stead. Look at that. That is powerful right there. And my friend, Mr. Yehuda, you can chime in whenever. I mean, so much information it just been spilled out right here. You see how he didn't want Levi to carry his body whenever it's time to do that, because they are the priests, the priestship, see, and they're gonna take care of the Ark of the Covenant, because the priests they always stay at the temple or the synagogue or the sanctuary, if you will. See that? That's what their land is. They work, that's where they work at, and they live there. So they keep it holy. They're doing all the rituals and the sacrifices. So it makes sense for them to carry the Ark of the Covenant. They already know what to do. You ain't supposed to look at it unless you're the holies of holies. But so if they do it, they're not gonna drop down dead and stuff, and they can get the Ark of the Covenant to the right place and take care of it as such, and keep it, protected and everything. But the rest of the sons are gonna focus on carrying his body. And you see how he said even Joseph not gonna be in there. Do you have any inkling on why Yehuda Joseph was he said not to have him uh be a part of carrying his body as well? I know it says, for as a king, so let his glory be, and Ephraim and Manasseh will be in their stead. Yehuda,
I'm with you. I'm just unmuting. Ask your question again, please.
do you know why? Well, what's the reason why Joseph, he said, let me read to you a quote: let not Levi carry with you, which is his body, right? For he and his sons will carry the ark of the covenant of the Lord with the Israelites in the camp. Neither let Joseph, my son, carry, for as a king, so let his glory be. Nevertheless, Ephraim and Manasseh will be in their seed. So, what does that mean to you, if you don't mind?
What book are we in? I know. I mean, I'm sorry. What? I know we're in
The
Yasher,
Apocrypha
but
in
I no.
Yasher,
I mean, what chapter and verse?
56, verse 13. Yeah, verse 13.
Yeah. So I was just trying to give you time to mute your mic. I was waiting for your mic to be muted. I got it right here. Thank you. So let's see. 13. Let not Levi carry with you, for he and his sons will carry the ark of the covenant of Yahuwah and Israel, and the county that Joseph my son carried. I mean, Joseph the king. So he's saying at this time, let's not have Joseph carry by him being the king. It probably, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I'm pretty sure with the latter part with yourself being king, uh, it just um would make more sense for Ephraim and Manasseh to carry, because Joseph's the king at the time. So you don't. I mean, you don't see no king carrying things like that, because he wants his glory to stay intact, so to speak. As far as Levi carrying the Ark of the Covenant, that's the priesthood. So if I'm not mistaken, there's a law where the Levites aren't supposed to be around carcasses like that or something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay, that's right. That makes sense.
So if that's the case, that would be part of that. So that's probably why he just said not let them do that. Um, and they're going to carry the Ark of the Covenant, right? The holy priesthood, and that Ark of the Covenant is the most holiest piece of artifact, is it not? Like the Ark of the Covenant.
That's true.
So I would think that that would have something to do with that. So that's right now. Of course, I could dig into it and come up with it, but just off the top of the dome, I think that that's what we headed at right now, as to why he didn't want them to have that, or the reason why the Most High commanded it to be the way that it is.
Yeah, that makes sense. Let's see. And then let's see, 14. Thus you will do unto me when you carry me away. Do not neglect anything of all that I command you, and it will come to pass when you do this unto me that the Lord will remember you favorably and your children after you forever. And you, my sons, honor each his brother and his relative, and command your children and your children's children after you to serve the Most High of your ancestors all the days, in order that you may prolong your days in the land, you and your children and your children's children forever, when you do what is good and upright in the sight of Yah Elohim, to go in all his ways. And you, Joseph, my son, forgive, I pray you, the wrongs of your brethren and all their misdeeds and the injury that they heaped upon you. For Yahweh intended it for your and your children's benefit. Y'all see that? For Yahweh intended it for your and your children's benefit. You know, he's referring to all them years he was a slave and what he had to go through and endure. And they lied and pretend he was killed and dead and murdered, and how they let their father be heartbroken all them years and saying, for their brother missing his dad. Probably felt like his dad and his mom only ones that loved him. He felt like he probably just didn't get that true love from his brothers and stuff. So,
May I touch on that real quick
of
too?
course.
Uh, yeah. So I just wanted to say that you see that where it says he intended it for you and your children's benefit. He's saying the wrongs of his brothers is going to work for him and his children's benefit. The Most High doesn't make mistakes, people. I've heard some Christians or Christianity believers. I'm not going to get into the debate of what a Christian truly is, um, because that word has several different meanings, and in the world that we live in now, and I think it has like 45,000 different meanings according to the number of denominations that are out there. But anyway, that's a whole nother topic. The Most High don't make mistakes. The good and the bad that happened to you, it was all written out for you. It was supposed to be this way. So when you're going through your trials and your tribulations, you're going through your troubles or whatever, I just know that more than likely may be some light at the end of the tunnel. Um, so keep your head up. That's all I could say. I take that advice myself too.
Yeah, definitely. I take that advice as well. Definitely. That was very good. But that was all I had. I wanted to go over that part because just a little bit of sections. It went over so many good principles, and so I just wanted to point that out when it comes to the apocrypha. Like, y'all need to definitely get this book and start reading and get into it because man, it's got a lot of great information. It explains a lot of things, and you can really see the bigger picture. Yehuda, up to you. Over to you.
All right, thank you for that. I want to turn your attention to. Go ahead and share your screen. Aria, I'm gonna let you pull it up. Or Araya, whichever one you like. I like to say Aria for some reason.
I know, right? All right, no problem. Let's see.
And do you have the Apocrypha King James version? Not the Cephar. We could go to that too, but I'm gonna use the King James version because most of everybody in this world is probably looking at that and they ain't never seen some of these scriptures here. Let's see. Okay. Scroll down to Baruch,
Yes.
Baruch, chapter 4. Let's go to chapter 4. I'm gonna read some of this to you guys right here and let you determine. And this is Baruch chapter 4. Some of y'all may have never heard this. I'm pretty sure some of y'all have not heard this. I'm willing to put a nice little wager on that you haven't because it's not part of the 66 Catholic, Protestant, even some Israelites don't even look at this, and it's crazy. But check this out. It says this is chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of the Most High and the law that endureth forever. Now that forever can mean a lot of different things depending on how you teach, where you go. If you hear a little there, a little. Remember the last time y'all heard my voice, I do believe I said that there's a rule and there's rules to this stuff. So if you follow these rules, you probably will see little to no contradictions. As I said, it shouldn't contradict, but if it does for some reason, then we need to retract and understand what we're doing and then back it up with scriptures, right? All scriptures should be studied and prove what you say and things like that. All right, so this is the book, the commandments of. For sake of time, I'm just going to use these English names on here. This is the book of the commandments of God and the law that endure forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. Some of that is literal, some of that is figurative. It's not all literal, it's not all figurative. Some gonna come to life, right? If you already leave it living, how do you come to life? That means you become awoke. It means you become woke. Turn thee, O who, Jacob, and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated. If any of y'all have had visions and dreams, and if it's really spiritual, and if the Most High really working with you, you might have seen a light of some sort. Give not thy honor to another, nor things that are profitable unto thee to a strange nation. You hear that?
Mm-hmm.
He's telling the Israelites, because Jacob, aka Israel, to don't give their honor to another. What does that mean? He's not saying don't honor the son. He's not saying don't honor the son, but he's saying don't give an honor to another. Because if you honor the son, you honor him, right? But we can get into that. Nor the things that are profitable unto thee to a strange nation. What does that mean? That has a lot of different meanings. The things that are profitable unto thee to a strange nation. You follow these laws, you will find out those things that are profitable to you, people. You don't believe it, then the Most High. If you do it and you don't see it, maybe the Most High ain't working with you. But I guarantee you, if He's working with you, those things that are profitable to you, you should not give those things away. We could go into details about exactly what that means, but for time's sake, we're not going to do it right now. O Israel, as I just said, happy are we, for things that are pleasing to God are made known to us. What pleases the Most High is made known to them. Be of good cheer, my people, the memorial of Israel. Listen to this, verse 6. Ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because ye move the Most High to wrath. You move God to wrath. Ye were delivered unto the enemies. For ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils and not unto God. Right? So I'm gonna keep going for just a little more. Ye have forgotten the everlasting Elohim, the everlasting God that brought you up, and ye have grieved Jerusalem that nursed you. For when she saw the wrath of God coming upon you, she said, hearken, O ye that dwell about Sion, God have brought upon me great mourning. For I saw the captivity of my sons and daughters. This is it. He's calling Israel her right now, right? Just the poetry that's in there, right?
Right.
For I saw the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting brought upon them. So I'm gonna stop right there. So check out that chapter. I'm gonna jump to let's see. Let's go to second Esdras. Just some of the more popular verses here. Second Esdras chapter 7. And I'm gonna read the first two verses. And it says, and when I made, excuse me, Shalakia, that's how we should say it, right? Not excuse me, but Shalakia, for those that don't understand Paleo, and or if you want to call it modern day Hebrew, it's not, you don't understand the Paleo, you say Shalakia, that means excuse me. Second Ezra chapter 7, verse 1. And when I had made an end of speaking these words, there was sent unto me the angel which had been sent unto me the nights afore. He's finished. These angels was coming to him. And they saying stuff and stuff. And he said unto me, up, Ezra, and hear the words that I am come to tell you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Check that out when y'all get a chance and see what he was talking about. I'm going to skip a little. I'm going to go down a little bit in this same chapter. And I'm going to go to verse 26. So I'm sorry. Let me go to verse 24. Because these laws, statutes and commandments is not a game. They there. It's for real.
Yep.
Pay attention. But his laws have they despised and denied his covenants, plural.
Come on.
And his statutes have they not been faithful. Laws, statutes, covenants, commandments. See the pattern here? And have not performed his works. And therefore, Ezra, for the empty are empty things, and for the full are the full things. Behold, the time shall come that these tokens which I have told thee shall come to pass. Now you see, I skipped a little bit. I want to keep you enticed. I want to keep you on your seats. You did. I read the first two. This angel came to him. That came to him before. After he finished writing this, I skipped a little. I went down to the laws. He said, but they laws they had despised. And then he said, Ezra's for the things that are empty, the things that are full. That's what he's saying. But you got to read what he was saying to him to understand all this. Hear a little, there a little, right? That's what I'm doing because I'm just getting to a point. You guys will see it. You probably already read it. But anyway, let's see, 25. And therefore, Ezra, for the empty are empty things, and for the full are the full things. Behold, the time shall come that these tokens which I have told thee shall come to pass, and the bride shall appear, and she coming forth shall be seen, that now is withdrawn from the earth. And let me read that again. Behold, the time shall come. He's telling them that this is a future prophecy, right? That these tokens, which I have told thee, shall come to pass. He told some tokens. You can look at that word tokens and see what it means in Hebrew and so on and so forth. You get a better idea of what that is. And the bride shall appear. The bride. Who's the bride? We'll keep going. And she coming forth shall be seen, that now is withdrawn from the earth. I'm going to keep reading it. And whosoever is delivered from the foresaid evils shall see my wonders. For my son, now that word right there, I'm not going to say that one. For my son Yahshua, Yahweh be Yahweh, perhaps, shall be revealed with those that be with him. That be with him. He shall be revealed to those that be with him, and they that remain shall rejoice within 400 years. You know, there's a 400 years prophecy. Some people say they don't believe in the 400 years and yada, 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 and so on and so forth. Tell them bring that smoke and let's get it popping. After these years shall my son, I will say Christ though, die, and all men that have life. And the world shall be turned into the old silence. The world shall be turned into the old silence 7 days, like as in the former judgments, so that no man shall remain. And after the 7 days, the world that yet awaketh not shall be raised up, and that shall die that is corrupt. Now let's go back to what you guys have been reading, and let's go to Revelations. Uh, I know the sister that's changing these verses. This is one of her favorite books, y'all. So if you ever
Yes.
want to talk to her, I would suggest know a little something about Revelations, and I'm sure she would love to hear different opinions. But she's going to test the spirit, so just know that.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Will do.
I want you to go to it's a couple of verses. Let's see. Chapter 18, verse 23. I want you to read that one. And when you read, sister, when you done reading, don't say nothing. And then we're gonna talk about it. Then we're gonna move on to the next four verses. And that's gonna be it for me. I ain't gonna give them too much smoke right now. But go
Yes,
ahead.
sir. Okay, the book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 23. And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived.
All right, thank you for that. Let me go back to let's see. The light of the candle shall shine no more at all in you. Remember, I told y'all about that illumination back in the Apocrypha? He said, the light of the candle shall shine no more in you.
Oh,
Is there going to
yeah.
be literally a candle inside of you? No. Come on now.
Right.
Let's not think like that, right? Uh, but that light of a candle shall shine no more at all in you. And then it says, for by your sorceries were all nations deceived. So he's telling us when this bride and groom, right? The bride being the church, being the believers of the Messiah and the Most High, right? That's who the bride is. If you don't know that, then we have another conversation on that. But the voice of the bridegroom, now we know who that is. If it's the groom, right? That's that American talk, the bride and groom, right? The bride is the bride is the prepares herself for the groom, right? The Messiah is the groom. We as the church, the people, are preparing ourselves for this new covenant, the fulfillment of the new covenant. We're still in the old covenant. Again, that's another topic, but because we believe and we can prove that we're in the old covenant, everything that I speaks just seems to line up. I'm not trying to put it together. The Bible's already done that for us. So let me just read this again. And the light of the candle shall shine no more at all in you. When we read some of Ezra's, he talked about the light being illuminated for the laws and stuff like that. And he said something about 400 years and the world shall be gone for 7 days and come back. Sounds like a future prophecy. I just want to see if any of this rings a bell to you guys. And it says that the bride and groom shall be heard no more at all in you. For your merchants were the great men of the earth, for by your sorceries were all nations deceived. It says, for your merchants were the great men of the earth. Merchants. We can talk about what merchants are. This is how you decipher and break down the Bible to get a thorough understanding. Um, but then it says, um, oh, I'm sorry. Now I'm gonna make that make a little bit more sense because Revelations can get very complicated. So now, sister, go ahead and read 22:17.
Okay, chapter 22 and then verse
Verse
17.
17.
And the Spirit and the bride say, come. And let him that heareth say, come.
And
And
let
let
him
him
that
that
is
is
athirst
athirst
come.
come.
And
And
whosoever
whosoever will,
will,
let
let
him
him
take
take
the
the
water
water
of
of
life
life freely.
freely.
Thank you for that. Did I not read to you in the Apocrypha where it said those that are with him shall have life. It says, and whosoever will, let him take the water of life freely. The water of life. That's those are that's going to have that life that are with him. And we're talking about that bride again. So we could try to put it together, which we should. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, though, again, if you understand certain things in the Apocrypha, let me slow it down just a little bit for my people, because I might be thinking faster than when I'm talking. So let me go back to this Apocrypha real quick, and you can stay right there, sis. No, you don't got to move. Yeah, you stay right there. I'm verse 28 in that Apocrypha said, and my son Yahweh shall be revealed with those that be with him. Though that's his bride right there. And they that remain shall rejoice within 400 years. After these years shall my son Christ die, and all men that have life. Right? But then if you skip down, it says, and the earth shall restore those that are asleep in her. And so shall the dust those that dwell in silence, and the secret places shall deliver those souls that were committed unto them. Right? What's the Ruach? That's the spirit, right? That spirit is coming. Notice how 22:17 says, and the spirit and the bride say. It didn't go and say, you're Jesus or Yahshua or whatever. It said the spirit. So it's telling you the spirit of him is going to say that, right? It's going to be inside of you. You're going to feel it.
Oh, that's so deep.
Yeah, that's deep. That can go a lot deeper, right? But you take the water of life, right? That's not literally. And for those of y'all, that just made me think of something else too. Man, listen, they didn't drink no blood. That it was grapes. So stop thinking it was like some. The Bible tell you it's a law against eating blood. So why would they drink his blood? It was grapes. But we can talk about that. We can talk about that a little bit later. Which brings me to the next verse, 21:19. Go ahead and read that one, sister.
No problem. Chapter 21.
And in verse 19, right? And the foundations of the wall of the city were garnished with all manner of precious stones. The first foundation was jasper, the second, sapphire, the third, a chalcedony, the fourth, an emerald. Just 19.
Thank you for that. But I thought I said, did I say 19? No, I think I meant to say 21:9.
Oh,
not 19.
No problem. I'm sorry. Okay,
That's all right. That's all right.
All
It's
right.
all good. That's a good verse though. We could talk about them stones and stuff. Those heavenly stones. You know what I'm saying, sisters? Y'all need to be striving for those stones.
That's right. All right. So now, verse 9. And there came unto me one of the seven angels, which had the seven vials full of the seven last plagues, and talked with me, saying, come hither, I will shew you, Shalakia, I will shew thee the bride, the Lamb's wife.
All right. So we know who the lamb's wife is, the bride, right? We know who the lamb is, right? Remember in the Apocrypha, I read something about the seven candles that's going to be illuminated in you, right? But now we got seven angels, we got seven vials, we got seven last plagues, right? At the end of times. So this is how we put things together. These are just intro videos. We'll tell you guys later on where we go more into depth about these things, but we just pointing out some of the basics. We taking it back to the basics, right? So then I had mentioned in the Apocrypha, I read Esdras and I read Baruch, and I had mentioned something about 7 candles. Let's go back to that real quick here. We didn't really plan this; it just came to us. But Baruch 4, let's see. Where is it?
Well, you read the first two verses over there in Baruch 4 too.
No, Baruch I read more than that because I told him don't get a honor to another that's profitable. That's
Right.
verse 3 right there.
Like you're 9 and 26.
I was trying to find the 7 candlesticks, the 7 with the illuminated. I lost my train of thought of where I was going with that, but that's okay. It happens.
Yeah. Biggie.
Oh no, that's not. But that's okay. Let me go. Let's just go back to Revelations, right? Because 18:23 we already read. Um, 21:2. Go ahead and read 21:2.
Okay. And book of Revelation, chapter 21, and verse 2. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from Yahweh out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband.
That verse right there has so many different meanings, not just what the contact is, what John talking about him seeing the new heaven and the new earth. Uh, and then for the first heaven and the first earth will pass away. That goes back to the book of Matthews when they talk about now one jot, one tittle shall pass. Has anybody seen the new heaven or the new earth yet? This is, future time, end time prophecies. But then when he talks about this bride, that's something we're gonna talk about later, and how you women are supposed to be the bride to your man, the order that we mentioned earlier. That's part of the reason why I went to Revelation to kind of sum everything up that what we talked about, and how a bride, how we are supposed to be Messiah like, so to speak, right? The same way our women, men of Yah, our women are supposed to be looking up to us the same way that we look up to the Messiah, the same way that he look up to the Most High Yah. Those children are supposed to look up to those women. So just think of that as the bridegroom, but not in a incest kind of way. I'm just saying the metaphorical meanings behind all of this. The New Jerusalem coming down from heaven was prepared, and there's things that speak to this in the Apocrypha as well, and that was part of the reason why I do believe we went there. Give me just a second, because I think I know exactly where I was going to go with this, because this is another controversial book right here that people tend to run away from, that I'm getting ready to pull up right here. Uh, Give me one second. We're gonna go back to Baruch. Second Baruch. We're gonna go to Second Baruch, chapter 10.
All right. What about the Apocrypha? Oh, right. I'm trying to get back to type it. Baruch. You said 2, right?
Yeah, chapter 2.
And what verse?
We'll start at the beginning.
There we go.
And go ahead and read that, sister. I like hearing you read.
Oh, thank you, sir. Baruch chapter 2, verse 1. Therefore, the Lord hath made good his word, which he pronounced against us, and against our judges that judge Israel.
I'm sorry, hold on. That's not the right one. That's this one only has Baruch 1. It don't have second Baruch. So let me read second Baruch. Unless you got your Sefer, you could go to your Sefer because the Sefer has second Baruch. See, guys, all this stuff they've been twisting and turning and mixing and mingling to cause more confusion, not just go with what the masses say. Sometimes this is a good verse. I mean, a good book that she got open right now too.
Okay, so Baruch chapter 2, verse 1. For I have said these things to you.
Second Baruch, sister. Second Baruch.
It is.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm. I'm reading from the Sefer. Mm-hmm.
Chapter 10.
Oh, you told me. Okay.
My bad. I apologize.
No problem. All right, chapter 10 of Second Baruch. And I'm reading verse 1, right?
Yeah, we're gonna read this one, all of this, and then we're gonna
Okay.
talk about it a little bit, see what you think about it.
Okay. All right. Starting at verse 1. And it came to pass after 7 days that the word of Elohim came to me and said unto me, tell Jeremiah, which is Jeremiah, to go and support the captivity of the people unto Babel, the Babylonians. But do remain here amid the desolation of Zion, and I will show to you after these days what will befall at the end of days.
All right, now pause right there. Remember, y'all, we was talking about the brides and how the brides and stuff are going to come at the end of the days, and how things is going to kind of be what John said, these things shall come, and so on and so forth in Revelations that we read with those 4 chapters. So just keep on going after that. I just wanted to point that out. Go ahead, sister.
Sure. I think I was at 4. And I said to Jeremiah, which is Jeremiah, as Yahweh commanded me, and he indeed departed with the people. But I, Baruch, returned and sat before the gates of the temple. And I lamented with the following lamentation over Zion, and said, blessed is he who was not born, or he who having been born has died. But as for us who live, woe unto us, because we see the afflictions of Zion, and what has befallen Jerusalem. I will call the sirens from the sea, and ye lilian, come ye from the desert, and ye Shittim, and dragons from the forest. Awake and gird up your loins until morning, and take up with me the dirges, and make lamentation with me. Ye husbandmen, sow not again, and O earth, wherefore give you your harvest fruits? Keep within you the sweets of your sustenance. Verse 10. And you, vine, why further do you give your wine, for an offering will not again be made therefrom in Zion, nor will the first fruits again be offered. And do ye, O heavens, withhold your dew, and open not the treasuries of rain. And do, O sun, withhold the light of your rays. And do, O moon, extinguish the multitude of your light, For why should light rise again where the light of Zion is darkened? And you, ye bridegrooms, enter not in, and let not the brides adorn themselves with garlands, and ye women, pray not that ye may bear. For the barren shall above all rejoice, and those who have no sons shall be glad, and those who have sons shall have anguish. For why should they bear in pain, only to bury in grief? Or why, again, should mankind have sons? Or why should the seed of their kind again be named? Where this mother is desolate, and her sons are led into captivity. From this time forward, speak not of beauty and discourse, not of gracefulness. Moreover, ye priests, take ye the keys of the sanctuary and cast them into the height of heaven and give them to Yahuwah and say, guard your house yourself, for lo, we are found false stewards. And you, ye virgins, who weave fine linen and silk with gold of Ophir, take with haste all these things and cast them into the fire, that it may bear them to him who made them, and the flames send them to him who created them, lest the enemy get possession of them.
All right, thank you for that. So, make a long story short, obviously a lot that was being said in here, but when we don't follow these laws, these things will happen. This is a captivity in that time, but it's also speaking to things that are to come, right? Uh, Men ain't gonna want to have women ain't gonna want to bring kids into captivity because we're not following these laws. There's gonna be corruption now in the kingdom. There will be regenerations and kings and queens being made again. But Baruch is saying, uh, he said, "Ye husbandmen, sow not again, and O earth, wherefore give your harvest? Wherefore give you your harvest fruits? Keep within you the sweets of your sustenance." Not following those laws, going into captivity, nothing's going to manifest, right? The light's going to be gone. Remember, we talked about that light that should be given to you. And then it says in 13, and ye bridegrooms, enter not in, and let not the brides adorn themselves. That sounds like when they prepare themselves, these brides, they're not married yet, right? If they're brides and a bridegroom, the bride and groom, they're not married yet. Is that accurate, sister?
Yep, that's
okay.
right.
So then, if you're not married yet and you're going through these things, right, and you're supposed to be married, right, you're supposed to be preparing yourself for your bride, and because the groom should be ready already, right? Don't y'all women want that man that's already ready?
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
And guess what? The Messiah is already ready.
See?
Right? Think about that for a minute. Like I said, these are just intros. We ain't gonna get too deep into it because there's a lot going on here. Let's see, what was something else I wanted to point out. Verse 19, and you, ye virgins. Now, that word virgins, it can mean a lot. It's a lot going on here, right? But we talking about brides and bridegrooms, so we talking about those that aren't married yet. We are. Guess what, people? This gonna throw a little
monkey wrench.
Yeah, there you go. little monkey wrench. Yeah, we are virgins. We have not been married yet to the Most High, to the Messiah. We haven't been. We're not married yet. We are virgins. I want you to understand that. In the sense of, you probably done did the thing with your man or your lady or vice versa, right, and all of that kind of stuff, because you got kids. So that's obvious, you done did that. But we are still brides to the bridegroom. So that makes us a virgin too. So y'all probably never heard that, but They don't teach these things in seminary school, right? Because they don't teach it the right way. Because you don't listen to Baruch in seminary school. Baruch tell you to follow his laws. Seminary schools tell you not to. Christianity tells you not to. Everything's been fulfilled, but the prophecies show that they haven't been. All of those type of things. But I wanted you to pay attention to 19, how it says, "And you virgins, who weave fine linen and silk with gold of Ophir." Um, it's like a what is that? The Ophir is something over there, some type of
It says the name of a son of Yotan, and
Yucatan,
this,
yeah.
yeah, and the son of Chazo, and of a gold region in the east.
So yeah, the Eastern world is a gold region. So
Yeah.
that tell you that the land is rich and full of minerals and stuff like that. Which goes back up to where he was saying, don't your fruits ain't gonna harvest no more. That means all that's gonna be uprooted. Literally speaking and figuratively speaking, it's already been uprooted, right? The Israelites have been so uprooted from their roots, they can't grow no more. You understand? And they have to go back and sow those oats, right?
Right.
We gotta in the book of Matthew, the Messiah says something about don't tear. You got the good harvest growing, and you got the bad harvest growing. And he said, he told his disciples or apostles, don't pull the weed out yet. Let it all grow together. And then when it's time to harvest, that's when we're gonna separate.
That's right.
Right? That's that bride and that groom. And that's that groom talking to his to-be bride, right? You women supposed to listen to your men. Now you test that man though. Make sure you test him, right?
That's right.
Test him. Make sure see where he at, right? Test your beliefs against his beliefs. Y'all have y'all conversations and keep things going. Like I said, I can go into depth with it, but we're gonna just touch the surface right now. Benjamin, Miss Benjamin, is there anything you wanted to add to that?
You pretty much hit everything. And it's what we want to do. We just want to drop some Easter eggs, if you will. So drop some little snippets, drop some jewels for you. So when we go deep, when we go over it more deeper in the near future, we can elaborate more and explain more. Cause like going down the rabbit hole is so much. It's so much that we can go over and cover. But we got some good jewels for y'all. So you definitely stay tuned.
All right, one last thing. Some of y'all probably never heard this either. Give me 1 second here. I'm not gonna read all of them. I'm just gonna read a little bit of it. The prologue of the wisdom of Yahweh Yahweh, the son of the Sirach. Now, that we can explain that too. Whereas many and great things have been delivered unto us by the law and the prophets, and by others that have followed their steps, for the which things Israel ought to be commended for learning and wisdom, and whereof not only the readers must needs become skillful themselves, but also they that desire to learn be able to profit them which are without by both speaking and writing. My grandfather, Yahweh ben Yahweh, right? My grandfather, Yahweh ben Yahweh, my grandfather, Yahweh ben Yahweh, when he had much given himself to the reading of the law and the prophets and other books of our fathers. So he said that the Messiah, Yahshua, Yahweh ben Yahweh, whichever one y'all want to call him, when he had much given himself to the reading of the law and the prophets and other books of our fathers, and had gotten therein good judgment, was drawn also himself to write something pertaining to learning and wisdom, to the intent that those which are desirous to learn and are addicted to these things might profit much more in living according to the law. I'm gonna stop right there. That is Ecclesiasticus, another book of wisdom. I'm gonna stop right there. Because it like I said, that rabbit hole gonna open up, but we gonna stop right there. Y'all stay tuned for more. This is Matty Yahoo Yahuda. Yahuda returns at gmail.com. If you like what you've heard so far, you want to hear more, Ariya Israel has a way that you can contribute to the cause. We ain't really asking for, but anything that is given in the spirit shall be received in the spirit, and vice versa. So we gonna probably put it into it right there. You got anything you want to say to what I just read, Aria? I'll give you the floor and we can close out.
That was very touching. Yes, thank you again for joining us and tuning in. We pray that you can join us again on our next video, and whatever you can give, we appreciate it. If not, it's no problem. Hopefully, you able to give, next time. Enjoy the rest of your day or rest of your night or your morning, and shalom, 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 shalom.